Ripe and luscious, sun-sweet, farm-fresh, and many times picked by workers in squalor like this, in conditions like those we uncovered at this Riverside County mushroom farm. The property's caretaker scurries for cover as a team of state and federal investigators swoop in.
You never see a place like a mushroom farm.
Looking for housing, safety,
¿Es correcto?
and wage law violations.
They were sleeping in here?
Yes.
The growing shed made into living quarters.
Oh, pretty sad bed.
Here, boards serve as beds, comforts are few. Just before this visit, the workers had been moved, but this had been their home for nearly 2 years.
You can see where they hung their clothes, where they had a fan, they have electrical cord outlets, which are illegal. Everything about this location here would be illegal.
And dangerous. The shower room is a shocker.
Somebody was in that shower with a light that was on, that portable light, that would have been electrocuted and could have died.
I don't see any bathroom facilities.
There were no bathroom facilities.
No hand-washing facilities either. A sanitation problem that could send tainted produce to market.
Clearly, the consumer is at risk for contracting any number of bacteriological or virological diseases.
There's a little mine back there.
As inspectors dive deeper into this mushroom mine shaft, the violations mount. Money is the subject here,
Was $5.15 la hora.
and how much they were shorted on pay. Inspectors recover handwritten records kept by the employees themselves, showing wages of $3.25 to $4 an hour, far below the legal minimum of $5.15. Meanwhile, dangers disguised in the dark. As Cal OSHA inspectors dig up more hazards that could kill.
What used to bother me was when they used pesticides. They give us a mask to protect ourselves.
What he doesn't know is the mask he was given was worthless.
Neither one of these masks are approved for use with pesticides. These are both paint spray masks.
This was no better than wearing nothing at all.
It could be worse than wearing nothing at all.
Other dangers are more obvious.
That's live.
That's live?
I'd step away from there.
Live wires everywhere, open switches, open cords. Action is swift. Appalled by what they see,
They cannot work over there either.
inspectors slap on OSHA yellow tags, reserved only for the most dangerous work sites, declaring this farm off limits to all. The inspectors summon the workers. The farm is shut down, the team explains. Closed until electrical repairs are made. Closed until the owner gets workers' compensation insurance as required by law.
Do you know that many of these conditions are illegal?
No sabemos eso.
No, we didn't know that.
But in the eyes of the law, the farm's owner has no such excuse.
California farms produce more than half of the nation's fruits, nuts, and vegetables, so chances are 50-50 that whatever's on your plate was grown and raised by a California farm worker. It's a $25 billion a year business that itself continues to grow. But the irony here, as growers get richer, the workers they rely on sink faster and deeper into poverty and despair.
In terms of conditions, the wages have dropped 20% in the last 2 decades.
Professor Jose Calderon, who grew up in the fields, has studied California's farm labor over the last 30 years.
Today, we have a lot of those fields without clean drinking water and without bathrooms in the field.
These are issues of basic human dignity.
Basic human dignity and basic human rights.
Calderon marched for those rights in the 70s with Cesar Chavez and his United Farm Workers. But the union's gains were soon outpaced by an avalanche of cheap labor, too little enforcement of the laws, and by what Calderon calls the pro-business bias of today's political leaders.
I would say the worker was better off 20 years ago.
And that's partly because so many growers still choose to ignore the law.
Not even a caged animal should be treated that way.
Hi, my name is Sasha Fu with UPN News 13. Can we come in?
We pay a call on Jack Tam, a San Gabriel CPA, and the man whom inspectors have cited as the owner of that mushroom farm.
Why weren't the workers being paid minimum wage?
I have no idea, okay.
Why weren't deductions being taken out of their payroll?
They are taking out, okay. Just some misunderstanding.
It's a misunderstanding?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Sure about that.
What about the housing conditions? The workers were living in sheds. What's the explanation for that?
I have no idea, okay. It's not my farm, okay. I'm just the accountant for them.
Jack Tam and his attorney show up 3 months later to appeal the violations at a state labor hearing. At stake, $94,000 in back wages for the 9 employees, another $87,000 in penalties for Jack Tam.
Please raise your right hand.
After being sworn in, one by one, the employees identified Jack Tam as the man for whom they worked.
That's him.
15 days later, a formal ruling is made. Jack Tam is responsible. Jack Tam must pay. A victory to be claimed by more than just those who tend the fields.
Because today it could be agricultural workers, tomorrow it could be office workers. It affects everyone.
Now, certainly not all growers are breaking the law, but catching the ones who are is tough. With 82,000 farms in California, last year the state's most aggressive enforcement unit, the one you just saw, could target less than 1% of the farms in this state. Meanwhile, the work in the fields goes on, with the grinding toil, poverty, and exposure to pesticides taking their toll. The average life expectancy of a farm worker, just 49 years.